even though murder is a criminal concept. You had identified Mark Grossman as someone who was guilty of basically...
Not use the word guilty. Please rephrase.
Engaging in criminal activity.
And I didn't identify. I said that name has been identified by other sources who have spoken to the media. Media has put forth that name. And yes, it's on the website. His picture is there. But I did not make any specific allegations about, or I haven't given specific information about Mr. Grossman. I said he has been identified to be the one. And when I was asked, is it correct? I said yes.
Okay. Personal information that Mr. Grossman has committed criminal activity.
Yes.
And that's based on your personal knowledge.
Yes.
Now, are there any other current or former members of the executive branch, and let's take the time frame 2001, 2009, that you have personal knowledge have engaged in criminal activity?
I can't cover time frame after January 2002.
Okay. Let's take the time frame 1997 up to 2002. Now, other than Mr. Grossman, do you have any other direct personal knowledge of executive branch officials, meaning executive branch in the United States, who were involved in criminal activity?
Yes.
And could you identify those?
My website identifies them by pictures.
Sorry, I don't... not familiar with your website. Could you just enumerate the names for me?
It is www.
No, I just would like the names of the individuals, not the website.
I haven't named them. I have their pictures. I haven't named those individuals. Their pictures there. And if you were to ask me and name them yourself and ask me questions about them, then I will answer you.
I'm asking you, can you identify the pictures on your website?
Yes, I can.
Okay, what are those pictures that you have on your website? Identify those pictures on your website.
I don't have any.
Who are executive branch officials who you say have been involved in criminal activity.
I don't have it in front of me.
You don't remember what's on your website? You're under oath. You don't know the pictures of the people who are on your website?
Yes, I do, and I
then
can
I'd like you to. I'm just asking you. Just tell me who they are.
I have to look at them right now in front of me in order to identify each one of those individuals.
Do you have any name other than Mark Grossman that comes to mind?
Yes.
Name that person.
Yeah.
Going off the record, the time on the video screen is 14:58 and 13 seconds. Going back on the record, the time on the video screen is 14:59 and 39 seconds. Please continue.
We have objected to a question as it is formed would reveal classified information.
Is the picture you're maintaining on your website classified information?
The picture's not classified, but asking information related to why the picture is on the website would be.
So I'm getting to the end here. If I visit your website, your testimony is that the people whose pictures are there on your website have been involved, to your personal knowledge, in criminal activity.
No, she's wrong to answer that question.
The answer is yes.
No, the witness will not answer that question as it relates to classified information.
I'll just visit your website. I think that's all.
Just a couple of follow-ups and we're done. I wanted to go back to some of the questions Mr. Fine asked you about contributions, government-sponsored PACs, etc. Back to that category. You had answered the question, I think, in part by saying there's covert support and there's overt support. In your experience, for example, you said you'd never heard of had not really heard of the Turkish American Council or
Coalition.
I'm sorry, which one?
Coalition.
Coalition. Right.
Turkish Coalition.
Turkish Coalition of America, that was the one you had now?
Because there are so many abbreviations, it's so hard, but I don't...
Okay. And I think earlier when you testified, you said you hadn't heard about the Turkish American Heritage Path necessarily.
Again, they have so many names and abbreviation and talk that I don't recall now, but I may have known, I don't recall it right now. Specific names of various PACs because there are so many different kinds that they set up.
And you described, I think what you were describing when you were describing the covert kinds of support, situation where an official has a suitcase full of cash, gives it to 10 people who are not government officials, and those 10 people make a contribution separately to the PAC. The PAC then gives money to whoever, right?
Correct.
And that would be something that would be considered the covert.
That was one of the covert
One of the ways to do it.
Right.
And so you wouldn't expect, if that happened, for example, with the Turkish American Heritage PAC,
Right.
Some Turkish official gives a suitcase full of cash, 10 different people, they make contributions to the PAC. You wouldn't expect the PAC to put it on their website that they got money from the Turkish government.
They never do. I
No.
mean, up until, based on my knowledge, experience of 2000,
Yeah,
they
no,
don't.
right. If they were doing that, you wouldn't have to listen to their phone conversations and figure out what they would need counterintelligence operations, right?
Objection as to listening to phone conversations.
And in fact, if the treasurer of the PAC submitted an affidavit and said our PAC is not, never has been sponsored by the Turkish government, and has never received any money or non-monetary support from the Turkish government, as far as we know, that treasurer may not even know that the contributions came in from
Right.
those
Or
10 people, right?
Correct. Or in some cases, the treasurer may be the key person involved carrying out these illegalities.
Right.
Let's say it was in Chicago.
Would you expect them to give us an affidavit saying, yes, we got money from Turkish government through covert sources?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Right. If they would do that, you wouldn't have to review their telephone conversations. You've said that, I want to ask you a kind of personal question, and if you don't have to answer if you don't want to. You indicated that you're independently wealthy. And I assume that what you mean by that is you don't really have to work in a day-to-day job if you don't want to. You have sufficient means that you don't necessarily have to do that.
Currently,
Okay.
Currently, my husband and I, yes, we worked very, very hard for 18 years, and before that we did. So, yes, we don't have to right now go and work full time.
So I got the impression from your testimony that when you went to work for the FBI back in 2001, that money was not the motivating factor for you.
Absolutely.
They offered you a chance to be an FBI special agent.
With the highest level GS, the moment I graduated from Quantico, because of the language abilities and the master's degree, they just put all the stuff which would have qualified me to start as GS 12 or GS 13 versus the GS 8 that regular agents would start. That was part of the offerings they were giving me as part of this package, yes.
No. It would be fair to say the FBI found you to be a fairly valuable resource right away?
Absolutely, and they have several commendation letters from all the agents. These are field agents that I worked with, and they all submitted commendation letters, and most of them would request specifically me for their own projects, yes.
Right. And then when the issues that got you, let's say, crosswise with the FBI, when they terminated your contract, the FBI's, the Office of OIG, actually investigated, determined that they really didn't pay enough attention to your allegations, and that they were substantiated, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Fine asked you about the travel allegations, but the core allegations about Ms. Dickerson, they were substantiated.
Correct, they were all substantiated.
And so if it wasn't money, then why did you go to work for the FBI in the capacity that you did? What was it that motivated you to do that?
One reason only. Immediately after September 11th, the FBI, the Justice Department, they kept coming on TV, radio, and they said they were desperately in need of language specialists in these areas because we didn't know if we were going to have other attacks, etc. And it just was like going and enlisting with the army or whatever if there is a war and you're attacked and somebody attacks you. So I just joined in order to do something as a citizen to contribute because I didn't have those languages and the education, the background. So I was serving the FBI during the crises and the need, this so-called desperate need that they had.
So you had skills and experience that would be helpful to your country, right? And out of love of this country, you offered those skills and experience.
That's right, motherfucker.